Hi guys, welcome to the first video breakdown of my tactics for FC26. First tactic we've released for the full game proper is Liverpool's 25-26 tactic under Arne Slot. Now we've seen a little bit of a change with Liverpool this season with the addition of players like Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, Florian Wirtz, and also up front with Isak and with Hugo Ekitike. So we're going to take a bit of a dive in today. We're going to look at it in the game. We're also going to look at the X post with a couple of tips of how to play it. And of course, we'll be going to the tactical board where I can show you how we're going to build up and how you should expect to find this in game. So without further ado, let's head over to the X post. Lovely. So as you can see here on the X post, we've got the code in here, VZT $S 3 RVD JZ. Now this will be in the description, so don't worry about any of that. As you can see, it is a 4-2-3-1 wide, whereby we are going to be looking at high possession. We're going to be looking that the roles aren't necessarily essential. There's going to be fluid front four rotations within this team. And the new false 9 attack is something that I definitely believe is a meta role in the game. The only vulnerable point you can have here is because you're playing 80 depth, and if your pivots get caught high in terms of your two CDMs, there is a chance to get caught on the counter. Now we know that that's going to be the case no matter what formation you use this year, but just something to be aware of. Now, if we have a look in here at how it plays, we are looking at the double pivot dictating, the cam rotating in with the wingers and the striker. The right mid is going to cut in with the false 9, linking play and also getting in behind. Now the key roles here are going to be your DMs, ball winning midfielder. You need somebody like Grav that's tall, that can also move the ball on, but equally, you know, somebody that's going to be able to be strong in the tackle and win the ball back for you. Your left DM, more of a box-to-box. We've got them on deep line playmaker build-up, and that is so that they can progress the play and get a little bit further up the pitch. You can be in a roaming playmaker. Wirtz is kind of dropping in a little bit deeper, rotating into the half spaces, so you want them to be all across sort of zone 13 and 14. If you aren't aware of zone 13 and 14, go and have a look at the zones on a football pitch. It's a little bit of a newfangled thing, but worth having a look at so you can understand a little bit what I'm talking about. And then right mid, your inside forward, that is your Salah role. Salah's not so reliant on this year. They have got, you know, other outlets, which is good for Liverpool. And also the striker being, I personally believe Liverpool are better with Ekitike, and he is a false 9 on attack. Now, what I want to do is just quickly flick over to the game, and we'll talk about what kind of players we want for each role, because I think that's important. So, here we are in FC26. Now, as you can see, it is 4-2-3-1 wide with an 80 depth on balanced build-up style. In terms of players that you're going to want for each role, your goalkeeper, you are going to want somebody with this role because you are going to want them to step into the defence and help out in build-up so that your centre-backs can split. So ideally a plus or a plus here is great. Your right-back attacking wing-back, this is another one where I'd say that you do need a role simply because you want them to be up and down. Now on support, they will come back when you are counter-attacked. So you want them on support. You don't want them playing basically as a winger. I don't think we've seen Frimpong do that just yet, where he's been so far ahead that he's playing as a winger. Your right centre-back in the Canate role, you're going to want somebody with a lot of pace here because they are going to be stepping in as a stopper. They are going to be sort of aggressing the ball carrier, and then they're going to need the pace if they do get beaten to turn around and go back the other way. So you're going to want a big, strong, quick, typical meta defender for FC. Your left centre-back is on defender-defend. As much as Van Dijk is a ball-playing defender, you know, nominally, the role doesn't really satisfy what we want in game. We want them to almost sweep behind a little bit, and be able to play the ball either across field or play it into those pivots. So you want somebody here that's also quick, but they don't have to be quite as quick as the right centre-back, but you want them to be good on the ball and able to kick the ball long. So if you've got any defenders, put that long ball pass on them that's in the Evos at the moment. That will be a big plus for you. Left back, full back, versatile. Sometimes they're going to dip in as a back three when the right back disappears. Sometimes they're going to be offering a little bit of wide support. So you want somebody here that can do a bit of everything, carry the ball, move the ball on, but also quite strong in the tackle. Your right DM, holding ball winning. Now this is kind of the Gravenberch role where he will sit centrally, he will sort of screen that defence when Liverpool are in possession, but he can also get involved with the play as well. And as you can see in holding, the role does say that they are defensive minded and have limited attacking support, but the one thing that's important here is they are aggressive, and with them being aggressive, they will get forward if you trigger the run, so make sure that you do that. With your left DM, again, they're more of a box-to-box. You want them on deep line playmaker because they will get up, they will defend. You want them to kind of be up and down and shuttling. And, you know, ideally here, you probably want a plus. It's not so essential, but I'd probably go for it. Right mid is your Salah. Salah, again, it's not too overly reliant on Salah this year. He is very much more of a sort of creator, also a finisher, but he's sort of like that midpoint in the play more so than he was last season, where he was always involved all the way through. So inside forward balance puts them in their right area, which is on the corner of that penalty box, which is where Salah does his best work. So ideally here, you want a left footer on the right, or if you do flip the tactic, you want a right footer on the left. At left mid, we've got winger balanced, and that is because I believe that Cody Gakpo is so much more than just a cut inside forward. Because there's not so much width on this side with the left back not bombing forward so much, he needs to create the width himself. Now, wingers this year are a lot better. They're a lot more versatile, and they will get involved and get into the box. So winger balanced here is great. They'll get help defensively as well. So it's just one of those where you're getting the best of both worlds. At cam, we're looking at playmaker roaming, and as I mentioned before, Wirtz is getting into those half spaces. He's making those swaps with the false nine, with the wingers, and roaming really allows you to do that. So I think this is, again, another one where at least a plus would be necessary. And then up front, we've got false nine on attack. Now, this is a new role for FC26 where they are going to drop deep like false nine does, but also get in behind. And that's something that I've noticed that Ekitike has done so well to start the season. He's happy to drop deep and get involved in the build-up, but also be that last line of getting forward and making those incisive runs in behind, which is perfect with this role. Now, what we're going to do is flick over to the tactical board so I can show you how it's going to be out of possession, how it's going to be in possession, and your likely sort of ball progressions that you're going to look to get. So let's flick over. Okay, so we've got the tactical board up, and as you can see here, we're in the 4-2-3-1 wide shape. In possession, it's going to move a little bit more like this. So you're going to get this 8 in this gap. They're going to get up there. They're going to kind of get around here with them sort of patrolling that area. Your 10 is going to sit either in these half spaces, more than likely because this one's going to get up here. You're going to see them get into this half space a bit more. Your right wing back's going to get up here. They're going to shift into that middle bit. And then you're going to see this. So you're going to see them almost be in that 3. If the 3 tucks in, if the 3 wants to sit here, you're going to see them like this. And that's how I see Liverpool at the moment. It's very pivotal on when the right wing back goes and when he stays. It's very asymmetrical, and I think it suits Liverpool because Gravenberch here has got the legs to get up here and support, or to cover in here when the moment arises. You've also got a real quick player here in Kanate who will step into midfield, and you'll have the sweep behind. But ultimately, when they are moving back to defend and you are trying to compress the pitch as much as possible, when you're in possession, this is how you want it to look in the opposition half. You want it to be all the way up here. You want your DM to be sat here, them in here like this. When you are on that 80 depth and you are compressing, you need to be operating in reality inside this area of the pitch. Let me just get my line. You want to be operating in this area of the pitch. That's where you want to win the ball back. If they want to go long and put the ball over the top, you've got adequate cover where they can go back there, they can go back there, and they can sweep in behind. This is where the pace is super important. But all of these attackers up here, your right back, your right winger, your 10, your 8, your striker, and your left winger, you want to be pressing super high with those. Especially with the way that the game is this year, actually manually defending has a lot more bonus to it. So I would say make sure that you are using those and make sure that you are instigating the press high, but doing it manually rather than trying to let the game do it for you. So that is going to be the majority of this today. I'll just flick over. So that's going to be the tactic for this week. Next week, we will be popping up a video where I go into a full game and I show you how it works. I show you how the tactic moves in real situations. This is just a little bit more of an explainer as to how we've got to certain roles. If you've got any questions, do pop them into the comments. Code will be in the description as well. If you've got this far, please give us a like. Please give us a subscribe. I will be live on Friday, and I'll see you then.